Get it again. Just stand up there.
Oh my god. You guys made it.
Oh! Comes out next week.
John just wrecks us all. Wow. Good job.
He gets sniped.
Fuck that guy.
That was totally off.
Just leave him behind.
Some zombie's gonna go like boom, boom.
Alright, get out, get out, get out, get out.
Out.
Alright, get in. Oh! Woo! Yeah! What's up, guys?
How's it going?
Thought we'd have a little conversation about some of the things we've been talking about on the page lately.
Had a few big announcements, obviously. We got some new stuff like Fallout 4, which is awesome.
Oh my god, Fallout 4.
We've still got E3 coming up here in just a few days, starting on the 14th. So still a lot to come, but kind of figured we'd clear out some of the stuff that's already been announced and that we've all been talking about recently. So when we do our E3 podcast, it'll be a little bit more relevant. We won't have to, spend a good half hour or whatever kind of just covering this old stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I guess we can just jump right in.
So Fallout 4.
Fallout 4, yeah, that's obviously the big release this week. I'm sure most people here have seen the trailer.
Looks so good.
Looks amazing.
I don't care what anyone says about the graphics.
Yeah. I mean, so Bethesda's always done really good graphics, of course, but they've never been top of the line graphics. It's just never been something they're shooting for because.
Well, I feel like even in Skyrim, if you play Skyrim on a PC but on Ultra, it looks beautiful.
So I played Skyrim mostly on my Xbox. Honestly, my Xbox 360 is where I put in most time on that, and I mean, it looked really good. I mean, it did. The environment especially, they always render really great environments and everything like that, but the characters themselves, they never looked like breathtaking. I mean, if you honestly, I mean, I know they're cinematics and stuff, but like Final Fantasy X cinematics on the PS2 look better than Sky. And once again, I know it's a cinematic versus actual gameplay, and there's some differences and stuff there, but Bethesda's never really been known for breaking ground.
True, but I feel like you have to take it in context. Like, what other big open RPGs that we had before that? We had like Heroes of Might and Magic and Oblivion, stuff like that, and those graphics look terrible. But for an open world, when you get something like Skyrim, you see the mountains and stuff like that. Like, I think it looks beautiful, and you have to compare graphics to the same kind of game. You can't compare it to The Order, because I mean, it's linear, and you can use all your memory just doing beautiful graphics.
Well, that's kind of where I was going to, is that I think the beauty that we get out of a Bethesda game like Fallout is from the environment, is from this massive open world that you're going to get, where I can run an hour in one direction and just keep going. It never cuts me off, and it's not just like a recycled vision either. You go and you're especially with this new one that it looked like there's actually less just like that wasteland look. Like, obviously, it's there's going to be the wasteland. You just went through the nuclear fallout, but
and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it looks like that as we kind of progress through the game, like, hey, maybe we'll go to some place that was just Fallout, that's just bland, but there's so many differences. Even in Fallout 3 in New Vegas, you'd go to one place and you'd run into a supermarket, and there'd be a full supermarket with guys running around with guns holding down the supermarket, and then you run to another place. There's just, it's more about what's in the world rather than the way the graphics are in the game. So that's what excites me for it. And then, like we were just saying, it does look like it's actually more aesthetically pleasing than some of the older ones, with the more green that we've been given, and everything like that. Another big one that I know everybody's been talking about on the internet is the dog. Obviously, that was a big thing on here. The dog was kind of the star, if you will, of it, which I think is really cool, being able to incorporate a dog with
Hairworks. Have you ever seen the NVIDIA Hairworks thing?
No, I haven't.
Obviously, you guys on the stream aren't going to be able to see it, but
we'll pull it up real quick so I can talk about it and how awesome it looks. But in game, but yeah, no. So I mean, it kind of shows the dog. You see a little bit of it. I mean, the dog even like wearing like like almost like a backpack, we'll call it, and he's got like all this stuff spot, you know, on him. So like maybe when you get full, you give your dog some stuff and he can carry it. I'm sure the dog will be, you know, incorporated somewhat into combat. And I mean, how cool would it be if the dog even had like its own skill tree or something like that? Like, you know, can carry more weight.
Follow you around like an idiot though.
What?
Hopefully doesn't follow you around like an idiot, like other followers in Fallout. They get stuck on shit.
They just get stuck and they like glitch out.
Skyrim, God.
I mean, you know, they're running on the same engine as Skyrim.
Yeah,
Is that what they're
believe
talking?
So, yeah.
And I mean, obviously, like we were just saying, Skyrim's companions and stuff that followed you weren't perfect by any means. But hopefully it'll be a little bit better than what we maybe saw with Fallout 3. But I like the idea of the dog there. I think it'll be really cool. I think they can add a lot to it. A skill tree with the dog would be cool. Like, even if it's just carrying more stuff, being able to attack. Using VATS with the dog would be really cool. Like, go bite his arm or hold him down. So there's a lot they can do with it, and they showed us. Trailer was great. One thing that I don't know if I'm pretty sure most people caught this, but the character talks.
Yeah,
the main character talks in
huge.
this one. That's something we've never seen in a Fallout game before.
So this is a demo of NVIDIA Hairworks. This is the difference when you turn this Hairworks thing on. So this is what a dog looks like, and this is what it looks like with Hairworks on.
Oh damn! Okay.
Yeah, so like,
wow.
And that they move around like that, and it's only a PC thing, obviously.
Correct. Yeah.
But like, just
That's-
I think the difference is
that's
that dog's gonna look
beautiful.
bitchin' with that.
Yeah, it is.
So.
Even as somebody who's not going to be playing on a PC, because I'm very much going to be playing on a PS4, because that's what I play on, and that's where I have the most fun playing, just where the community's at, everybody I know and everything. So that's where I'm going to be playing. And once again, like we were talking, it's not the graphics that's going to pull me into this game. It's the gameplay. Nobody but Bethesda can give me a game this good, this open world, this interactive. I mean, the game could come out and be as glitchy as possible. You know, it's not gonna be like a Assassin's Creed Unity, where the game's built around this multiplayer experience and you go in, it's super glitchy, and that breaks the game to the point where you don't want to play it anymore.
Well, I could have those glitches, I'm sure, and I'll probably be okay with it. Honestly.
I'm gonna be okay with it. Like, I'm not saying it's not gonna have game-breaking glitches. I'm saying the game is gonna be so good, I'm fine with game-breaking glitches. A game like, let's say, the Halo Master Chief Collection that came out that had these massive matchmaking problems when it came out. That
people couldn't put up with that, and I couldn't put up with that either. But like,
I wasn't able to. I mean, I own an Xbox One. I know you personally don't own an Xbox One. I do own an Xbox One, and tried to play that Halo game, and that was enough to turn me off of it. I haven't even gone back and plugged it in. I haven't even played the single player for it either, because it turned me off so bad. This game that was built around this multiplayer experience that wasn't there. Halo's fun. The storylines of Halo 1, 2, and 3, at least, you know, the storyline arc there was brilliant, was fantastic. But the game's not good enough where if it breaks, I'm going to keep coming back to it. It's just not.
Even in Fallout New Vegas, my wife played probably like a good 20 hours into it before she got stuck and a game-breaking glitch. Couldn't even rescue her game, and she cried for a night. She was really upset, actually. But she went back and just played it again. Like, just get over and move on.
Bethesda makes those kinds of games, and I think they've earned...
But anyone can be forgiven for that kind of stuff.
They've earned it with the quality of games that we've gotten over the years. They've earned that trust and respect from us that, yeah, you know, there might be some issues at launch, but the game we're going to give you is worth coming back to. You're going to be upset. You're probably going to get upset about it, but it's worth coming back to and enjoying. So I really like to see that with this here. So
I don't know what people are talking about. Have you seen this 4K screenshot?
No.
So this is actual gameplay, so this is an actual screenshot. In
Okay,
4K.
can you post that up so people can...
I cannot. And even if I
check
could,
it
Twitch
out.
would downscale it, so they wouldn't understand. But you can go Google 4K.
4K Fallout 4
Yeah,
image.
if they're going around the internet. But I mean, look at this. Like, it doesn't look... This looks way better than Fallout New Vegas or Fallout 3.
This is gorgeous.
And it's not perfect. I mean, look at the dog. Again, with the hairwork stuff, it's going to look great.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's a huge improvement.
So, something that we heard a lot about, kind of touching on some other stuff that has came out. Obviously, The Witcher came out and did phenomenal. Got breathtaking ratings, you know, a couple perfect 10s. You know, it was basically a masterpiece. It was.
The Witcher was great. I still haven't played enough of it.
It had some glitches its own. You know, there was an XP glitch, there was a save glitch. It had its problems for sure. But once again, it was this massive open world game. I mean, I hate to say it, but with these massive open worlds, especially these deadlines we put on developers and stuff to make games, like, it's going to happen. That's just the way it is. There's going to be some of these glitches.
When you have 2 million pages of code, you're going to have some mistakes in there.
Yeah, so it's going to happen, but so many people online, I'm sure plenty of you guys have read on different forums and stuff like that, people getting really upset about the bait and switch, as they called it, with the graphics on it. I don't know if people know what that word means or that phrase means, but it definitely was not a bait and switch. The graphics were absolutely beautiful, and if what turns you off to a game like this, Fallout, Skyrim, Witcher, any of these open world games, if what turns you off to this is the graphics, there's nothing that's going to please you. You can go play The Order, and then you're gonna complain about there not being enough to do, and then you're gonna go play Fallout and complain that the graphics aren't good enough, and then you'll
just never be happy. Every
game is gonna play different, and I think that's what people kind of forget about. Some games are gonna be graphically beautiful. Some games are gonna be super open world and have to use less graphics to be able to operate, well. That's just the way it's going to have to be. So honestly, if anything, if you watch the Fallout trailer and you were upset by the graphics on it, don't buy it and don't play it, and I don't care, and I'm going to play it and I'm going to love it. So just try and be understanding when people are putting together these games that, okay, if the game is for us, let's say we're going to play the game and it's going to take us 300 hours to get through everything, the people who developed this put in thousands, maybe millions of
millions of man hours altogether, I'm sure.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. Over time, there's not just obviously one person working on this game. It's there's a whole team of people working, 9 to 5 jobs like we work every day to get paid, and this is their job, is to create this video game. Yeah, like you said, between everybody who's working on it, it's probably millions of man hours put into this game, and obviously these people have to come together, and each people are doing different parts of it, and they have to weave all of these into one game. There's just bound to be problems, and if you wanted a game that was graphically perfect and this expansive open world and all this beautiful stuff, it's called No Man's Sky, and it's been in development for 20,000 years.
No Man's Sky. I was trying to think of the game the other day at work, and I couldn't think of it.
No Man's Sky. If you guys haven't looked it up, the game looks amazing. It looks like everything we've wanted this game to be forever, but it's not. They've been developing this game for what, 10 years now?
It looks. Yeah,
The Last Guardian, the same thing.
The Last Guardian, yeah.
There's these games that are gonna give us all this stuff to do.
At least No Man's Sky didn't tell us so early.
Yeah, I didn't just shoot their load as quick as possible, right? Oh, hey, Colin, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. But no, like I was saying, there are these games that are these massive open worlds with these brilliant graphics, but they've been in development for so long. By the time they're even going to come out, they're going to be dated. They're just not going to be a coherent story, which is fine. I'm still super excited for The Last Guardian if we ever get it. I'm still super excited for No Man's Sky, even though they've given us no real date or anything.
I don't see with No Man's Sky, I don't see the game, though. They haven't really talked about what the actual game is. It's exploring, but where's the fun? You're not building anything, you're not killing anything, you're not... I've heard there's shooting and stuff, but I don't know if there's actually a game in there.
We had a game like that before. It was called Endless Ocean, and it was boring as crap on the Wii. But I don't think No Man's Sky is going to be this. I actually went out to a convention last year, and we actually got to see a little bit of gameplay from it. Now, it was like a dev playing it and stuff, and he was letting us make decisions, so there was some... there was some actual thing there that... there was some content, and he let us make decisions, so the game was there definitely, but there did seem to be some action and stuff. At one point he was flying through space in a spaceship, and there was this cargo ship flying with these pirates attacking it, and then he actually gave us some options as a crowd, do we attack the cargo ship with them and then try and collect some money from the pirates? Do we try to attack the pirates and see if we can get a reward?
Is an RPG system in it, you can collect money and stuff?
Yeah, so there is some sort of reward system to it, and then every action you choose actually has some sort of balance to it. So once again, do you want to attack the pirates and save the cargo ship and try and get something from them? Do you want to join with the pirates attacking the ship, and then maybe the pirates will turn on you and you have to fight them? Maybe they'll give you a reward, or do you just want to drive by and not even deal with it? So we actually decided to fight the pirates. There's only 3 of them. He wiped the pirates out real quick. The cargo ship gave us a quick little item or something, some cash, or it gave us something. I forget what it was. This was last year, and we moved on and we landed on a planet. So there is some sort of reward system. There is some sort of cash or credits or armor, weapons. There's something there that's in the game, and then it was really cool. We got to see a solar system. which was awesome. So we got to see 5 different planets, I think it was, all orbiting the same sun. The guy actually had a cool feature, which he said is not going to be in the game, but where he could stand on a planet, look at another planet, and teleport to it. The idea was obviously he was showing us a game, and he didn't want to spend time trying to fly through.
Like teleporting in Minecraft. Just
Correct. So once again, will not be in the game, but he was doing it there just to show us. 5 different planets. Each planet was completely different from the other. He went to one planet. It was Mars-like. It was really barren. It was almost empty. It was like, you know, dirt, red, that kind of stuff. There was almost very little life around it at all, being animals, plants. You know, there was a few plants here and there and stuff, but we really didn't see much. Then we teleported to this other planet, which was like almost this water world, like you'd see in like Star Wars, where it was like almost completely covered in water, and he was swimming around the water, and there was, you know, fish and stuff like that. And then he went to this other world, which is like a jungle world that had like these dinosaur-looking creatures walking around and stuff like that. And he was even like, you know, you can hunt these dinosaurs if you want. You can just walk by them. A lot of them are going to be, you know, really calm. A lot of them are going to try to attack you. So, you know, there is some differences, but he didn't really speak on if there's going to be any like objective style, like, you know, discover this many planets, hunt this many animals. He didn't really talk on any of that, but I'm sure they'll give us something like that, because they can't just not give you anything, especially like a big open game like that. There's got to be some content. There's like, even if it's just like small stuff like that, like discover 10 planets, you know, fill a book of flora or fauna, you know, and, you know, discover 100 different plants, hunt 10 different animals. There's got to be some content like that in it. But those games look beautiful. It's going to take us forever, though, to finally get them. So be happy with, you know, these games that we're getting that are coming out in reasonable time. I know they haven't given us a date for Fallout, but what do you...
It's going to come out this year, absolutely. 100%,
That's my guess as well. So
it's been leaked on like so many other places, like EB Games Australia, I think, put out a thing, and I don't know if they're just guessing or if they actually noticed something, but Bethesda generally doesn't. They release in the same year they announce, and I don't think they...
And I was reading somewhere, I don't remember exactly where it was, that they actually, somebody said from Bethesda that this is hopefully, they're hoping this is going to be their fastest turnaround from an announcement to a release that they've done before.
They're doing pretty fast generally, though, so I mean, you're talking about weeks and months here, not years, so...
Correct. So I'm thinking, you know, holiday season, like October, November.
I bet you the game's already done. I bet you it's 100%. It's ready to go gold already. Like, they wouldn't...
So my guess here...
Skyrim, so...
My guess here is that we... Obviously, they showed us the trailer, but Bethesda has already announced that they're going to do something at E3.
Yeah, on the 14th is their conference.
Which is a little out of character for them.
Yeah, they don't usually do E3 things unless they have something big to talk about. So.
Which kind of blows me away that they already showed us Fallout 4. So my guess at E3 is that we see gameplay.
Oh, yeah.
And we get a release date.
I bet you'll get to play on the floor and everything like that, too. So
those are my guesses for E3, is that we'll get a release date, once again, hopefully being this year. Probably holiday season, because that's when big games come out. It's just the way it is.
Yep.
So I think that's their big announcement there. And I mean, it'd be cool if we saw some sort of like console, like really either side.
I don't know about that. I don't think there'll be any bundles. They don't. It's not like them. I don't think.
It's really out of character, but it would be fun.
It would be, but there's already like. I think they already said they're definitely going to do a Halo one for Halo 5.
Halo,
so some kind of special edition.
Probably see that at E3, and then Sony is doing the Batman one.
Yeah, so
right
the
now.
Batman one. They might.
They've already done what? Metal Gear one, or they've talked about a Metal Gear one.
They've done
the Batman one. They've done the white one.
Yeah, they've done a one in Japan that God, why can't I think of that game? Don't have the slime on it.
Slime. I mean Splatoon, but
no.
There's like Black Swan or Unfinished Swan. Is that what it is?
No, not even close. PS4.
You know what I'm talking about, though. Unfinished Swan. If you guys haven't seen it, that's cool. A slime edition, huh? What the heck is this?
God.
Either way, so there's already been lots of different ones that have been announced and stuff like that. So probably not going to be one, but it'd be cool to see something like that. Oh, okay, I know which one you're talking about.
Metal
yeah.
Slime from.
And then
God, what is the freaking game?
God, it's gonna piss me off now.
Dragon Quest.
There we
go.
The little fire guy or whatever he is.
Yeah.
And then they also did the PlayStation 1.
Yes.
Super crazy, exclusive, rare. Only 5,000 people got them or something ridiculous.
We need one of those.
Either way, so those are there. So they're there. So we probably won't see one of those, but it
But
would
we
be
already see a
exciting.
new model, I think. So the FCC talked about a terabyte model on the Xbox and the PlayStation. The Xbox is finally getting a 3.5mm controller.
Okay.
So
Nice.
just like a PlayStation's have, so you can just plug anything in, which is about time. But
Xbox already has a terabyte.
they do, but just
with
the Call of Duty.
The Call of Duty one, which is
Yeah.
exclusive. I knew there was something in there where they had the terabyte. Obviously, PlayStations don't yet. But both Xbox and PlayStation have upgradable hard drives. Reasonably priced, anywhere from $100 to $200, somewhere right around
I think
there.
the PlayStation is much easier than the Xbox One, though.
To upgrade? Well,
Yeah,
I
I know
have
Xbox
to.
One-
I have to disagree with that because the Xbox ones are actually external.
Well, yeah, no, I'm talking internally.
Internal, well,
Yeah.
yeah. So honestly, I haven't even looked into
I don't know
any
if you can
internal Xbox ones, which is kind of crazy.
Pretty sure they talked about like avoiding a warranty or something if you do touch the internal one, the Xbox One. But PS4 was easy as day.
PS4s, yeah. There's like 6 screws or something that holds
I
it
think that's
in,
mad. I
or,
think it's like one screw and it just like pulls out.
and then it pulls. So yeah, really, really easy to kind of upgrade those. So they're both there, and I know a lot of people, when these new consoles got announced, 500 gigabytes, half a terabyte. I got so much room, and then
It's
games.
big until we found out we had to
Games
install
started
every
coming out, and they're
game.
like, "Oh, The Witcher, that's going to be a 50 gig download." And you're like,
I don't even see it as an issue. I mean, honestly, my PS4 holds 10 games at any given time. I don't play 10 games at once. The save files are separate, so I just delete the oldest game, play the newest one. God forbid I want to go back and play that. It takes 5 minutes to install. It's not a big
reinstall
deal.
it. Yeah,
So I don't know why.
I know my
everyone's surprised about
Xbox One. I've currently got. Actually, my Xbox One's a little ridiculous because I have mostly digital for my Xbox One. My girlfriend gets it. It's just a good way to kind of have them and never have to switch them. Plus, I love being able to talk to my Kinect and switch games. Xbox
It's
go
nice
to
not
this.
having to get up and put a disc in.
Oh, it's beautiful. It is. But as somebody who's a disc fan, I do have a lot of digital on my Xbox One. Pretty much exclusively discs on my PlayStation for the most part. I have a few digital, but more discs than anything. It's really not a big deal. I probably have like 15 games right now that are uninstalled. But like you said, it's you delete one thing, you reinstall the other one. It takes 5-10 minutes. You get up and get a drink, go to the bathroom, you get yourself all ready to game, and it's ready to go.
Yep.
Once again, your save files are a completely separate thing, so
It's not really a big deal.
it's really not.
Alright, so next week we got Elder Scrolls coming out.
ESO.
You played a bit of Elder Scrolls, right?
I did play a little bit of it on the PC when it first came out. Pretty much any big game like that, especially an Elder Scrolls game, I couldn't not touch. It was just impossible when you're on the PC. And I honestly had kind of a same realization I think a lot of people had with the game, was that it wasn't Skyrim, and I think a lot of us wanted that when it first came out, and I think that was our fault. I don't think it's the developers' fault for anything like that, because they never sold it as a predecessor to Skyrim. It was Elder Scrolls Online. That's what it was meant to be. It was meant to be an MMO, and I think a lot of us came into it wanting this Skyrim, follow-up, and it was just never that. So honestly, I kind of fell off on it on the PC. If anybody follows us at all, they know that I'm really not a huge PC gamer. I play, a little bit like some Sim Cities and stuff that I can really get into.
It's so good.
Yeah, there's some games out there that are just prime.
Yeah.
But
Elder
I
Scrolls sucks on console.
and that's fair,
Yeah, so
there's-
I was super excited for Elder Scrolls. Like when it first got announced, a year or something,
Forever.
2 years
Yeah,
ago, and
yeah.
I was super pumped for it on my PS4. I was like, finally an MMO I can sit down and really enjoy and get into on my console. And then they delayed it and just took all the
hype
wind
out of it.
It took
Yeah.
all the wind out of the sails, and I even had the Imperial edition pre-ordered, and I ended up canceling it because it just wasn't excited anymore. It was taking too long, and then I ended up getting into Final Fantasy on my PS4, and Final Fantasy 14 is amazing, but I had to plug in my keyboard and my mouse and then sit down on my coffee table, and I hurt my back, and it just didn't really ever play right until I started playing on my PC, which now, if I was going to play Elder Scrolls, I would just do it on my PC, which I could have done a year ago, which is ironic, but
yeah.
I just feel like they took all the excitement that I had out, and now...
So honestly, I don't know if it has quite the hype I had for it when I originally got into it, but I am planning on picking it up on the PS4. I've got a few friends who are picking it up. Actually, my current roommate, who just got a PS4 like 2 days ago, is picking it up. So I obviously want to be able to play with him, and I'm trying to really get him sucked into this this master race that is PlayStation, not PC. Yeah, suck it, all of you guys.
You're doing. As we talk to our PC.
As we talk to our PC. But yay, once again, I mean, great thing about our streaming is we try and, although we do play mostly on the PS4, that's kind of our number one go-to go-to console, system we play on. We do both have strong PCs. We both have PS4s, and I have an Xbox One. So
we both have 3DSs.
We both have yes, yes. And then we're getting a Wii U here, so.
Yes, we need to get a Wii U.
We need to get a Wii U. I mean, there's like Splatoon. I mean, there's all these great games.
Of course, I can't stream any of it.
Nintendo. Yeah, come on, figure your shit out. But either way, we try and be as inclusive as we can about really everything. We try and, I'm playing Witcher on the 1 right now. I know he's playing on the 4. No, you're playing on your PC. Your wife's playing on your 4,
She's
huh?
playing on the 4, yeah.
So there we go. So we try and be as inclusive as possible. We've already given out 2 games so far since we've started our streaming. We actually gave out The Witcher just recently on the PC. We've actually gave out The Order on the PS4 as well. So we've been talking, maybe doing an Xbox One giveaway. I'm also trying to talk to people on the stream with, what do you guys want us to give you? Like, do you guys want PlayStation stuff? Do you want PC stuff? Do you want Xbox stuff? Like, let us know. Keep in touch with us. I mean, if we're going to give giveaways, might as well make it relevant to what they want, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, we try and be, Nintendo is the master race. Okay, let's be honest, you guys. As a Nintendo fanboy, hardcore, I have a Dragonite tattooed on my leg. Nintendo has always been the world's greatest second console. You need that serious console, your Xbox, your PlayStation, your PC, whatever you prefer, but we all have had a Nintendo. It's, you're always like, I'm a PC master race, and then I have my Nintendo.
But I love my Nintendo for my games. Like, Nintendo never made a good console. They have never made, even the 3DS is a joke. Like, as a console, okay, like, it plays, I only have it and tolerate it because it plays my Nintendo games. But if Nintendo started making games like they're talking about on phones, hopefully they move over to PlayStation and to Xbox, if they can tap that power, God, I couldn't imagine, like, the possibilities.
I know you and I were discussing it the other day. Nintendo, okay, so just follow us here. This is going to be, maybe really taboo for some people, but what if Nintendo stopped making consoles, stopped making hardware? Okay, maybe still give us like a 3DS. Maybe keep their handhelds going or something like that, but stop making these consoles that suck, that cost them too much money, that flop every time. Yeah. It always happens. It happened with the GameCube. We got a good Wii. Cool, the Wii was fairly successful. They're like, oh, we're going to do another one. We're going to do a Wii U, which sucked. And they're like, oh, well, we had this naming problem. We're going to try and adjust that next time, and then we're going to release the new 3DS. Go suck it, Nintendo, okay? You guys, whoever is naming your consoles, shoot them in the head. And then eat them, shit them out, and then bury them somewhere. Because what is wrong with your naming process? You guys have these, the ability to do something good, and
they just need to give up on hardware altogether. Like, don't even worry about it. Even their first party developers constantly complain that their consoles are underpowered and can't do what they want. So if they can let the Mario Kart team go loose in the PS4.
No, and so we actually agree with you. The games. That's what Nintendo does. Is their games are hands down top of the line. It's because they don't necessarily always worry about all this extra filler and crap. They don't have to have the world's greatest graphics. They don't have to have the world's biggest
their games
biggest
are solid. They come out when they're ready. They QA them properly. There's not 100 patches. There's no day one patches. And the games work, and they're so much fun. But they're just held back by Nintendo's stupid hardware.
Just imagine, just follow us here, you guys. If Nintendo stopped making hardware, started just producing their games, they could literally put all their money, this entire development team that's wasting their time building hardware, put all those people towards game development, and then just produce games for the PlayStation 4. How's it going? We get some more people joining in. But yeah, once again, just every single one of their games just coming out on the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. I don't really care either way. It would just be great to see them, because like you said, their developers, their first party developers are always like, we don't have the power to do what we want with the game. We don't have the graphics to be able to produce to render what we want. And if you just gave us just took somebody else's hardware, that's phenomenal. That's perfect. Even the Xbox One, which currently has the slowest processor.
It's a pretty good processor. It's stronger than Nintendo's anyway.
Exactly, yeah. Regardless of how your feelings towards her, they're all just wipe the floor with Nintendo's processing powers. So why not just give us games?
They do still manage to make good games, like Super Mario Brothers. If you played that, did you play that on Wii U?
Oh yeah,
yeah, that was a lot of fun. But loading screens, holy shit.
Pikmin. That game
so much
was
fun.
Brilliant. The world is really interactive. It's beautiful. It looks great.
The loading screens. Oh my god.
Yeah, you're sitting there just like, okay, I'm ready, and it's just it hurts. And if we got these on a console that could, run them at the same speed, then we could get a game like an MMO freaking Pokemon.
Oh my God.
Give me red and blue version graphics with an open world Pokemon game where I can interact with other people. I will pay you monthly for it. You could charge me a system that just plays that
You
game.
could make just a system that plays just that game.
And then charge me monthly for it. And I'd be okay with it. I'd give you my money and I would be happy and I would talk nothing but good stuff about it. There's the ability is there, and it's this whole idea of like creating this rivalry between each other. And Nintendo always tries to talk about removing themselves from the rivalry, but the fact is they never will.
No,
They always try and talk about like wanting to be removed from it, and I respect that. I do. I think it's a great idea is to just kind of pull back and not focus as much on is the Sony better than the Microsoft is better than Nintendo.
But really in the end that's just trying to make themselves sound like they're better because they're staying out of it. So they're really still in it.
And I mean, regardless, when you talk about video gaming, there's three names that come to mind: Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo. That's just the way it is. So they're always going to be in a competition with each other. I think they need to just kind of finish, just be done with it. Start producing it for it. Even let developers, even let Microsoft and Sony bid for their freaking games. Be like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and auction off the rights to Bayonetta.
I don't want Sony or Microsoft ever touching those franchises.
I don't want them.
I want their games on there, but I don't want them messing with themselves.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, don't take the rights to, but like, don't take the development of the game,
but
but
for the exclusive.
the exclusivity
contracts,
of it. Yeah. Like, dude, Nintendo first off would make a fucking killing off of it because you say Nintendo comes up and says, we're gonna go ahead and auction off the exclusive rights for Mario.
Yeah.
Dude, and then Sony and Microsoft are just gonna be just flipping out as much money as they can possibly come up with before breaking themselves, because they know it's going to be the lifeblood of their console now. Like, what does Microsoft have anymore that's exclusive to them that's better? Okay, so they have Forzas, sports games, Halo.
They have Fable 2, but they're turning that into a MOBA thing, so
That's not enough to sustain a console. You know what games that are sustaining? Mario, Pokemon, Zelda. Those are sustaining titles.
You can just recycle the same crap for 30 years on 5 different consoles and still sell it. So obviously you've hit the right sweet spot.
You are correct. Bayonetta 1 was on the PS3, but Bayonetta 2 was not on the PS3. And if we see any other Bayonetta 3, because obviously Bayonetta 2 actually did fairly well, considering the amount of consoles that had been sold. So Gears of War, you're correct as well. Gears of War is actually one of the main reasons I loved my Xbox. But as of now, we've got a Gears of War 1 remake coming out, if you're gonna remake it, just remake all 3 of them for me, please.
Yeah, right.
If you had sold me a Gears of War 1, 2, 3 pack,
War 3 instead.
Okay, it's
stupid.
No, neither side is above making stupid decisions. They both do it, okay? And okay, I actually have to give this to Microsoft, because if you're gonna just remake one of them, start with the beginning, not the end.
Yeah, but doesn't mean we have to wait 10 years to get all 3 remade again?
So
in that time, I'd rather just buy an Xbox and go back and play it.
Yeah. So Gears, you are correct. And if we get a new Gears of War game, this guy will be crazy excited for it and will be anticipating it and loving it. But games that are currently right now announced and available for the Xbox, the exclusivity is
Battletoads and
as they bought the rights to that.
Freaking
Tomb Raider,
which is only timed exclusive. We don't know how long, but
probably see it very much like Plants vs Zombies, where they get it 6 months to a year in advance.
What was the other one they just announced last year? That was the big thing people lost their minds over, which was nothing special.
I don't know. Microsoft or Sony?
Microsoft.
Exclusive?
It's a Crackdown. Yeah, it was.
There's these games that get announced that
Crackdown.
people, like, when they announce them, everyone's like, oh, we love these games. These are the best games ever. Just Cause was the same way.
Yeah.
Just Cause 2, like, when was the last time any of you guys watching the stream, if you guys can tell me the last time you plugged in Just Cause 2 and played it for more than an hour?
Yeah.
Let me know. I honestly want to know. So, as somebody who's saying this and I'm now talking shit about Just Cause, I played Just Cause 2. The game was enjoyable. It was fun. It was entertaining. It was a good game the first time I played it. and I was done with it, and I
People
moved on.
lose their
and-
minds like it's Zelda or something. And
Okay, on Zelda, when Majora's Mask remake got announced, all of a sudden, every single person online was the biggest Zelda fanboy. They were all of a sudden, Zelda's my favorite game, and I know
Yeah.
everything about Zelda. And I'm like, oh, can you give me the timeline of Zelda? And they give me like this, and I'm like, oh, you know, the timeline for Zelda is like this most convoluted.
I
You
played
might as well
Majora's
just be
Mask
talking
back on
about
the
the
Dreamcast.
Yeah, it's like you might as well just be looking at the Greek god layout and how that filled out, and but okay, so Majora's Mask, I know you're gonna disagree with me. I thought it was a fun game. I thought it was great, but it definitely had its flaws. It was definitely this weird 3-day time frame. You kind of always you always start your game in every 3 days. You have to start back in the central hub and redo all these things that take a day.
Least favorite Zelda, absolutely. But then again, my favorite Zelda, everyone else disagrees too. My favorite Zelda was Twilight Princess. I loved that. Playing it on the terrible Wii controls, and I thought it was great. I really enjoyed it. I just felt that magic from Zelda, but I hated Majora's Mask. But
so I think what was it? Skyward Sword was actually being argued for the long time as the best Zelda game ever
I couldn't even
made.
play Skyward Sword, and I tried to play on my Wii U, and I think the aspect ratio was wrong, but I couldn't even
Yeah.
look at that game without wanting to vomit.
But Zelda. So even the worst Zelda game is still better than the best of some other genres, which is kind of what we were discussing earlier, where Nintendo makes great games and terrible other content.
To make a Pokemon game that's all about battle, not turn-based, sort of like the Dragon Ball Z series, and I feel like they can pull this off in the Wii U. The Wii U would cry if you tried to play Dragon Ball Z like Xenoverse on there.
Yeah,
It would not
There's
handle it.
reasons that games
I agree,
like
though.
Mortal Kombat didn't come out for it. There's reasons Dragon Ball Xenoverse did not come out on the Wii U.
It sounds awesome, but it's not going to work. On
Yeah,
the
I
Wii
mean,
U.
imagine dude, think about how sweet that would be though. You start off the game and you pick a Pokemon. You pick a Pokemon. I'm gonna pick Squirtle, and then as you level up, your Pokemon evolves and you learn new attacks, and you
become an MMO,
and you just run around as Pokemon, fucking other Pokemon up. What's
So
the big
good.
deal? They could there's all this potential with these games they have. There's so much there.
Nintendo just doesn't touch. It just abuses its franchises.
It does. But
They can do
it's
so much with it.
It's like one of those abusive relationships that we all just keep coming
Like
back to because
Amiibos,
it's
let's
so
just make
good.
1% of what actually people want.
Yeah, and then you run into scandals where, oh, I'm gay. I'm glad that you let us know. Congrats.
That's funny.
But then there was that whole scandal in what was it, the UK or something like that, where an entire warehouse.
Well, it was a truck.
It was a truck,
But it was the entire country's supply.
the supply of
the
Amiibos
Squid Amiibos
got
gone.
hijacked.
They
and
will fit on one truck.
Yeah, so first off, I mean, I'm sure it was a big 18-wheeler or something. I'm sure it was
I don't know.
big, but it gets jacked, and that's obviously not the consumer's fault. It's not even the retailer's fault. It's not like it got stolen from their store. It got stolen from a truck that was getting delivered, and Nintendo couldn't replace them. They couldn't replace any of them. You couldn't
No.
it was it's so terrible.
The theme park, yeah.
Those obviously got announced.
Yeah.
Nintendo theme parks. Talking on theme parks, Star Wars theme park got announced as well. Disney's making great moves right now.
Yeah, Disney is hot shit right now.
With
Marvel and Star Wars, and they
And on top of that, I know a lot of people, obviously, with Disney buying out all these big things, we're really worried. Me included, obviously, wearing a Star Wars shirt right now as we talk. I'm a massive Star Wars fan. They're doing a great job of kind of removing themselves from it and just basically reaping the money from it, which is cool. They're buying all these big products
they're
out.
treating them right. They're not just. We were all scared when they bought Star Wars. They're just gonna milk it and destroy it and turn it into some daytime kids show or something. But they are doing well. They're doing the right moves, and it's working out. And yeah, the money is
money. That's
growing on trees for them.
That's all they needed to do. They put the money into it. They they keep the people in power. They basically, when they bought
Except George Lucas. He got pushed to the side.
good, because you know who they put in charge of LucasArts? They put Kathleen Kennedy in charge of LucasArts, who produced everything from Indiana Jones to early Jurassic Parks to all the stuff. Kathleen Kennedy is a god. She does when it comes to movies, she's brilliant, and they put her in charge of LucasArts, which she can do something right with it. She's not only she knows exactly what she's doing. Mickey holding a lightsaber, that's nothing new. I mean, we've all seen and played Kingdom Hearts, I'm
It's
sure.
gonna happen on Kingdom Hearts, but it's gonna happen on Disney Infinity 3. I'm gonna totally gonna give Mickey my lightsaber, my crystal Mickey figurine I have, my lightsaber.
We'll be doing a stream. I know the next scheduled stream we're going to be doing is the 15th. That's going to be after about 11 o'clock at night. We're going to be doing a stream of a recap of the first 2 days of E3. So definitely check back on the 15th around 11 p.m. And if not, we stream at least every other day. Normally one of us will be streaming and we'll be on. So just follow us here, and that's the best way, and you'll get a notification whenever we jump on. So thanks for joining us, man. But Mickey holding a lightsaber, I'm okay with that. Like, you know, they gave Mickey a Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts, and he was a badass with it. Like, let's be honest, you know? Goofy, Donald, Sora, Mickey, like, those guys can fucking rock behind me. I'll take them into war any day. Like,
I like that. Even, like, with Disney Infinity 3, they didn't try to make it super realistic. They went back to the art style from
the Clone Wars.
The Clone Wars, and it's goofy, and it's not trying to take itself too seriously. Plus, it's a kid's game, but you know, if they tried super seriously and failed, I think people would be more offended by a terrible interpretation of Star Wars.
And I think using the Clone Wars also speaks very much to what Disney is trying to do with this genre, because Clone Wars, as everybody knows, was a Cartoon Network. Star Wars thing. So obviously Disney using graphics and stuff from a Cartoon Network thing is speaking once again that they're not trying to say everything has to be our way. Everything has to be, you know, Disney. You know, they're taking what we loved, what we liked. You know, Clone Wars was immensely successful. It did great. And I know that they canceled it obviously off of Cartoon Network, but they were still even cool enough to give Netflix the exclusivity of that last season that we never got. So even though this once again was a Cartoon Network style thing, they even still let that last season come out, you know, where they could have easily just never put that out and said, you know, this wasn't our product and we want nothing to do with it, and gotten rid of it. But no, they were really cool about it, and they've, like you said, made a lot of great moves. When they bought Marvel, now the Star Wars comics are actually being produced by Marvel again, which was really cool. Dark Horse used to make them, now it's Marvel, which is, I think, really cool as well. And they currently are doing 4 different ones: a regular Star Wars, a Darth Vader, Princess Leia, and then from the new Star Wars Rebels, Kanan. And then they've actually also announced Lando. So he's getting his own comic finally as well. So there's tons of content here, you know, and they're cranking it out, but they're cranking it out at a good pace. They're not just trying to flood it and just make stupid amounts of money. You know, they're giving it out at a good pace, and it's consistent. It's quality. It's what we've wanted from all this time. And I think Disney buying all these things is what we needed to have these things kind of rebirth. As far as Star Wars goes, get George Lucas off of it. And as a huge fanboy of Star Wars, like, I have to give him the credit of, obviously, he gave us this perfect world. You know, he gave us this world that is just, to me, better than anything else. Like, Star Wars is my #1 over everything. You know, any nerd stuff that's out there, Star Wars takes the cake on it. I got books, games, movies, Blu-ray, like everything you could think of. He gave us the content. He's great at creating, but then he just needed to back off. You know, he needed to let somebody else take over, and J.J. Abrams directing is perfect. And
Who do you think is going to direct the next one? Because I guess J.J. Abrams doesn't want to do the next one, right?
Well, there's been talk about that. So actually at the Celebration, they were talking about that too, where he had only originally signed on for the first one, which itself kind of took a lot of effort from him. And they haven't really announced anything about the second trilogy movie coming out, because obviously there's the standalones who have their own directors and everything like that. What they're calling the anthology ones have their own directors. But my guess is J.J. Abrams is going to wait to see how successful the movie is. If it does immensely successful, I'm sure he'll come back and do it again. Yeah, exactly. You know, and I mean, that's honestly fair, because like when he was talking about at the Celebration, like, you know, taking on a Star Wars directing role is like, it's a career maker or breaker. It truly is. You know, if he messes up Episode 7, he may never direct another movie again. You know, that could kill his career. And I know that's why he was really cautious about it. On top of that, like, the amount of time, energy, just passion, you know, that guy can't walk down a street anymore without, you know, every Star Wars fanboy being like, so I get his concern and his worry and stuff like that. And honestly, I respect him for picking it up, and I think he's the one to take it. So he has.
We'll see when the movie comes out how everything looks, but he seems to be doing pretty good. So
yeah.
All right, I think that about wraps up.
Just wanted to, like I said, give you guys a quick recap. We have our Facebook page, you guys, Fat Island Gaming. There's the actual, like, page, and then there's a group we have. Join the group, you guys. It's a lot of fun. There's a couple hundred people just online chatting about stuff. It's a great way to kind of keep up with what we're doing when we're streaming. And once again, the 15th at about 11 p.m., we'll be doing a stream of E3. So if you guys enjoyed this a little bit, join us again, you guys.
All right.
Later.
Take it easy, guys.